Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Curiosity Corner Live. We're going to give everybody a few seconds to connect and such. In the meantime, for you early birds, if you want to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, we have new videos every day at 10:30 and 3 o'clock, so make sure you don't miss out on any of those. So, I'm hoping at some point, my beard is going to start growing down so I can braid it and give that true Viking look, because I'm just staring into this thing. But it's just growing out, like it's just getting puffier. There's no rhyme or reason here. It's just I don't know. Hi Anthony, how are you today? Hi Lindsay. Thank you for joining us. I know it's early, but we appreciate you came out here to learn about science. Okay, man. It's awkward when I'm just sitting here, huh? All right, moving on. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Jared, your friendly science Viking, and I've got to learn to stop smashing out of my head so hard. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I'm a guest engagement specialist at the Great Lakes Science Center. Right now, obviously, the center is still closed for the health and safety of you, me, and everyone else, but we don't want you to miss out on the chance to learn about science. So, with that in mind, today, we're going to talk about boats. Now, a boat travels on water, as you know. Not to use with a ship. Remember, a ship can carry boats. A boat can't carry a ship. Is that important? No. Just some random trivia I wanted you to know. Anyway, moving on. But before we had steam engines, before we had coal, before they ran, normally a boat would run on wind. The wind would catch the sails and it would carry a boat, much like just a big floating kite. But what if you're in an area that did not have enough wind to generate it, or putting a mast, which connects the sail, on your boat would be too heavy and it would sink? Well, then we got to move the boat by hand. And to use that, we created paddles. Now, hold on 1 second. Ooh, here we go. All right, so stay. Okay. To give you a visual example, because, you know, it wouldn't be a normal science day if I wasn't playing with water around the electronics, apparently my trademark. We have a giant tub of water and a craft stick, because this is as close to demonstrating oars as I can get. So, when our paddle, this is a paddle for today. This is just, I need you to roll with me. Use your imagination. We can do this together. Moving on. Hits the water and moves. The water resists, much as anything would resist a change in motion. But when it moves, that resistance is what causes our boat to move through the water. To understand this, we have to go back to Newton's laws of motion, specifically the third law, which states every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So my action of my paddle going through the water creates the reaction of, in this case, my hand, moving forward. So it does that. So what does this have to do with paddle boats? I hear you ask, a hypothetical other half of this conversation. Well, I'll tell you. A paddle boat uses paddles to move. That was kind of obvious. Imagine, for example, imagine a bicycle on the water. You pedal, and then a chain pulls a rotor, and that rotor moves you through the water. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't build that because that would require like Lego pieces, and I would have to have somebody actually controlling the boat, and the trained mouse I tried to use got cold feet at the last minute. It's a whole hassle. We'll talk about it later. Instead, what I put together, using random things I found around my house, was this little contraption, which is totally a boat. Totally a boat. Now, under ideal circumstances, I'd have this like in a bathtub or something, but we have to make do with what we got. So, you're a little top-heavy guy. So I put this together with Tupperware, rubber bands, more craft sticks, and I think these are shelving door things. I don't know. I found them. I used them. Nobody told my wife. Now, how we're going to demonstrate this particular experiment is I'm going to wrap up my craft sticks, my craft stick rotor here, in this rubber band, And as soon as we wrap it up, as soon as we unwrap it, it's going to spin. And I'm going to spread water everywhere. And that's just life, because that's what happens when you play with water and electronics. Sooner or later, things are going to get wet. Moving on. Now, if we did this right, which is a big question mark, once I put this in here and let go, my rotor should move my boat forward. Yay! I realize that's super impressive given the fact that it's moved like 4 inches, but it's the best I have to work with right now. So what happens is as my rotor unwinds, as it spins, as it pushes back, our equal and opposite reaction is our boat moves forward. Okay, that I probably should have thought through. Oh, well, fair enough. Okay, so in essentials, that's what a paddleboat is. Has this little motor at the end that when it turns, it pushes back, it pushes the water back, which pushes our boat forward. Fun. Okay, so that brings us to our design challenge for the day. Our design challenge is to build your own paddle boat. Stay. Good. Random item. Sorry, is to build your own paddle boat. Now, it doesn't have to look as weird as this thing. You can make it out of craft sticks. You can actually make one out of duct tape. I've seen people do that, which is exciting. But just as a little hint, so I made my rotor out of 2 craft sticks, which I can now not undo for some reason. There we go. So what happened, where's my camera? There it is I cut about halfway through both of them so that when I clip them together, their halves intersected and formed this plus sign. That way, when it was in my rubber band holder system, which is a fancy way of saying in my rubber band, wrap up, and then they would hit the water one after the other, which propelled my boat forward. So that's your design challenge. Build a paddle boat. Make sure to post on social media and tag us with the hashtag StayCuriousCLE so we can see what you've come up with. Okay. One more thing I wanted to say before we let you go. To all of our viewers, but to our younger viewers who may be feeling a bit stressed out because they weren't prepared to be learning online, because they need the face-to-face reaction, to our adults who are feeling very overwhelmed because they weren't really, because how could you be prepared to suddenly be homeschooling, to everybody worried that they're falling behind. In simplest terms, don't worry about it. Now, I'm not saying don't try. I never say that. But don't put so much pressure on yourself. Don't worry so much about falling behind. See, in August, September, whenever schools reopen, whenever it's safe to go back to school, your teachers will take care of it. It's their superpower. It's what they're trained to. It's what they're good at. They can take someone who's falling behind, quote unquote, and bring them back up to speed. It's what they do. It's what they love to do. Because they can teach an open mind. What a teacher can't do is teach to someone whose mind is closed off by anxiety, by stress, by frustration. And I know there's a lot to be stressed about. There's a lot to be frustrated and anxious about right now. So take a deep breath and tell yourself that everything's going to be okay. Even if it's a lie. Go ahead and believe that lie for as long as you need to. Now, normally, I wouldn't advocate, I wouldn't say it's okay to believe a lie, but I think just this once we can make an exception. And who knows? Maybe if we're smart, maybe if we stick together, and maybe most importantly, if we're kind, especially to ourselves, maybe it won't be a lie anymore. Everything's going to be okay. So, until next time, join me at 3 o'clock. We'll talk some more about paddle boats. Until then, have fun be safe, and as always, stay curious.